Okay, we are live. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Gender Equity Commission's December 2021 meeting. This is our final meeting of 2021. I can't believe I'm saying that. It's been such a long year. But we made it. We are here. We have arrived. I'm very excited. And so, again, just welcome. So happy to see everyone. And for those of you joining us live on YouTube, thank you for being here with us. I'm going to go ahead and start with a roll call. And what I'm going to do is just start with the people who are the commissioners who are joining us now, and then just name those who are not with us at the moment. So we're just going to do it that way just to keep it simple and keep it moving. All right. Also, I want to thank Commissioner Newman for again agreeing to take notes. Thank you so much. And for everyone who has stepped up to support us through this year. Okay, I'm going to call your name and just say present, wave your hand however you need to. And if you just wave your hand, I'll acknowledge you. Commissioner Hale is present, waving their hand. Commissioner Ramey.
Present.
Commissioner Newman.
Present.
Commissioner Higginbotham.
Present.
Commissioner Manuel.
Present.
Commissioner Coffey.
Present.
Commissioner Hanson.
Present.
Commissioner Overton.
Present.
Commissioner Schultz is not with us yet, but they did let me know that they would be here when they could. They had a little bit of stuff to handle, but they're going to join us a little bit later. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Commissioner Davidson, we know is not with us. Oh my goodness, excuse me. I just had a brain freeze. I'm having those more and more these days when like my brain just lapses. I am so sorry, everyone. Give me 1 second. Oh my gosh, sorry. Okay, so Commissioner Davidson is not with us. Commissioner Gross is not with us. Commissioner Corbel is not with us. And Commissioner Walker is not with us. Okay, we did it. All right, so the minutes from the November meeting, I sent that out to everyone, put it in the December folder. And also in lieu of committee reports, we asked folks to submit a year-end summary. For those committees who were able to submit, thank you. For those who could not yet, there's been a lot of work happening and that's okay. So today we're only going to vote on just number one, acknowledging the minutes, and that there's nothing in the minutes that needed to be updated, and voting on acknowledgement of receipt of the committee summary reports that we have received. So that's what we are voting on, just to be clear. So do I have a motion to accept the consent agenda for today?
I make a motion to accept the consent agenda for today.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Who was that?
Coffee.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay. And then again, with the end of year summary, we know that some committees were meeting this week. Just get those when you can. We appreciate you and your hard work. Okay. Commissioner Hale, your report update is quick today. So if you could please just go ahead and give us your CDOT update.
Thank you. We canceled the December meeting of the Pittsburgh and Allegheny for CDOT group to allow folks to participate in the 6th annual Pittsburgh Racial Justice Town Hall, which occurred at the same time as our regular December meeting. And I also want to let everyone know, and I will forward an email about this, that there's a CDOT related event coordinated by University of Pittsburgh Graduate School of Public and International Affairs, and our own Pittsburgh and Allegheny for CDAW intern, who is a GISPIA graduate student, Katrina Lenhart, is scheduled for this week, Thursday, which is in 2 days. It's titled A Focus on Gender Equality, Sustainable Development Goal 5, and the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, CEDAW. It will be held on Zoom remotely, so anyone can participate, on Thursday, December 16th of this year from 3 to 4 p.m. with a guest speaker from the United Nations Development Program. And I will forward an email about that. It's only 1 hour, and I really want to encourage folks to listen in. I understand that it will be recorded, so you can listen to it later if that timing doesn't work for you. I hate Zoom stuff, and I know we're doing a Zoom thing. We're so sick of sitting at our computers. I think this would be really valuable, even if you can listen to it when you take a walk sometime over the weekend or something. I think this would be, for our group, for our commissioners, I think it could be very valuable. Now I hope that it is. I'm sure it will be. So that thus concludes my update from CDAW for today, for this month. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Judy. And as Commissioner Hale said, she'll be forwarding that information to the commissioners so you have the opportunity to participate. And again, for anyone who is following or watching live or watching this recording later, I cannot emphasize enough how incredible it is to get to hear people from the United Nations CEDAW committee speak and hear about them and their work. It really helps to put in perspective how important our work is in the context of what's going on globally, and to remind people of why we even exist and why it's important to care about these things. So that's the only thing I want to say. I do see Commissioner Ramey has her hand up.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I just thought it might be useful on the back of Commissioner Hale's update to remind us that we just had Human Rights Day on December 10th, last Friday, which is a United Nations Day. And since we are founded in the framework, I mean, I think that's why Judy's reminding us that we ought to participate in this conversation. But that International Day of Human Rights, since our work was established within the framework of human rights, and that is sort of the grounding principle of what we're doing. I just wanted to make sure that we knew that that date was just last Friday, December 10th. We didn't remember to tell everybody last month before we got there.
Thank you so much for reminding us of that and for bringing it up. And again, we're going to try to do our best moving forward in general to remember important dates like this. And if we don't talk about it before, it's better late than not acknowledging at all. So again, really appreciate you for bringing that up because it's important to name that. So thank you. Hello, Commissioner Schultz. Thank you for joining us. We knew you were coming, so all good. We saved a seat for you. Anyone have any questions for Commissioner Hale before we move on? Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Commissioner Manuel had just some quick updates on what's going on with the budget hearings and how they may be impacting the Gender Equity Commission. I will turn it over to you, Commissioner Manuel.
Thank you. There's some good news to share as we end 2021, but the good news is to share how we are set up for budget for 2022. So I have to reference my notes. We know that City Council has already reviewed, they're still in the process of reviewing respective department budgets. But the Gender Equity Commission budget is under the Office of Equity, and they have already been to the table. And this week, City Council will be voting on the final 2022 budget. So far, because nothing that has been proposed, as I worked with the Office of Management and Budget for the GEC 2022 budget, nothing has been taken off the table. We do know that right now that there will be one full-time FTE, full-time equivalent person that in the position of executive director that will be in the 2022 budget. We have a total of $93,000. And so it's broken down into 3 buckets. One is money for us to do service with Nth Party from the analytical standpoint. So that money is placed in the budget for 2022. There is separate money for the disparity study in 2022. And then there is separate money for general initiatives. And so let me talk about the general initiatives. As you all know, that we have a partnership with AAUW, American Association for University Women. And so with that, we are doing our respective equity training. And we had a total of 10. We have completed 9 for this year, and then we'll have 1 completed in January. Of that general initiatives money, we are looking to extend the contract with AAUW that will take us all the way to the year 2024. So one, it eliminates us having to go to the table every year, asking permission to be approved to conduct our pay equity training. So once that will go to the table tomorrow. Once that is approved, I'm optimistic that it will be, then that money that we will be paying AAUW for that training every year through 2024 will come out of the general initiatives. So it's a good picture overall, considering the financial state of the union for the city, but the fact that this money has been put in for the 2022 budget, there has not been any cuts from it. It meets all of the respective objectives that this Gender Equity Commission has scheduled. And so that's the good report from a budgetary standpoint. So kudos to the one committee who has been waiting faithfully. Your money will be in there waiting for you to utilize for the respective disparity studies. So the work that we've started will be able to be continued. And then there is money still within the budget for us to implement some new initiatives if we choose to. So thank you. Are there any questions? Take that as a no, and everyone's pleased with what I've said. Thank you.
So I don't have a question. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Commissioner Manuel. There are no words for what you have taken on top of your workload as the Director of Human Resources and the many hats that you wear in the city as someone who's very active in their community. What you have done for this commission to make sure that we stayed on the minds and at the thoughts and in the actions and in the budget of the city of Pittsburgh to enable us to do this, how your leadership as the chair of the Workforce Equity Committee has taken us over the finish line for our premier year of conducting free AAUW Work Smart salary negotiation training for the residents of the city of Pittsburgh, and what we have accomplished. This is a collective effort. However, it's incumbent upon me as chair to take this time to recognize you. It is largely behind the scenes, as much of our work is. However, because you do sit on the executive committee as treasurer, we know what you've been doing. Many people in the public don't know. This would not have happened without you, period. Period.
You're welcome.
I cannot thank you enough,
You're welcome.
and am grateful to you for your hard work. So thank you for
You're welcome.
everything that you have done to make this a reality. And, to city council, please don't touch anything. If you want to add, feel free, but please don't touch anything when you vote this week. And thank you. Thank you to those who, felt it necessary to support this work. And here is to being hopeful, right?
Yeah.
That now that we know that the money at least is still in there, right? That next year we'll get the support and more members of the community are becoming informed of the work. And, here's to being hopeful for the new year. And again, Commissioner Emanuel, thank you.
You're welcome. So get to work, ladies.
All right. If nobody else has anything to add, besides being told to get to work, I am going to turn it over to the chair of the Governance and Leadership Committee, Commissioner Coffey, who is going to talk about the 2022 Executive Committee elections.
Indeed. Thank you, Chair Nechar. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope y'all are having a great Tuesday and hanging in there. We're almost to the end of the year. So I do have a slate of nominations to present today for consideration for the January elections for the 2022 Executive Committee for the Gender Equity Commission. For chair, we have nominated Amanda Nechar. For first vice chair, Morgan Overton. For second vice chair, Sarah Hansen. For secretary, we have two nominations in Judy Hale and Marcel Newman. And for treasurer, we have the nomination of Janet Manuel. At this time, I'd like to ask if there are any nominations from the floor.
Doesn't everybody jump at once? And if I'm not mistaken, people can still nominate up until, okay. So y'all have a couple of weeks to think about it. 5 to be exact or so. But think about it. We'd love to have people consider and join, but I'm just gonna put that out there.
If there are any questions around executive committee roles and responsibilities, I'm happy to talk about them offline and over the next few weeks and share any answers to questions that any of you might have.
Well, congratulations to the nominees thus far. And keep in mind that we do have money in the budget for another executive director next year. So the work should be a little different. So keep that in mind, everyone, as you think about the roles and responsibilities of the executive committee. Just wanted to put that out there as well. Okay, thank you so much, Commissioner Coffey.
Absolutely, thank you.
Okay, I just have some quick updates on some recent resignations and some remarks that I would like to make on commissioner engagement. So as we know, Commissioner Sabrina Corbel won her election as magistrate for Allegheny County, which is extremely exciting. And what is Allegheny County's gain is the commission's loss because of the conflict of interest of someone sitting on the bench. She did submit to me her resignation as soon as she was sworn in so that she would be in compliance. So just wanted to share that with everyone. I had a lovely phone call with Sabrina and again, was one of our original commissioners and is going to be missed. Helped to craft the bylaws, sat on the governance and leadership, chaired the governance and leadership committee, chaired the nomination committee, was instrumental and a wonderful voice and advocate, and wish her the best of luck. Also, Commissioner Walker did offer the resignation as well. And so anyone who's been following the work of Commissioner Diamante Walker, she has been engaged in a lot of really important and high profile work over the last year. I know that being a part of the commission was really important to her. Being engaged was important to her. And, you know, she has graciously acknowledged the, you know, how much there is to balance. And so has asked, you know, has resigned to step down to create a spot for someone else coming in with the new administration to take their spot. You know, acknowledging the hard work and the work and commitment that goes into being a member of the commission. And so I just want to say that I really appreciate her leadership in that regard for acknowledging that, because it is important. And especially as we're coming into a new administration, the new mayor is going to be nominating their own people. And, you know, we know that having people here who are able to be here to share in the work is extremely important to move this forward. And so I want to thank them again for their service. I want to thank them for their encouragement and support. And my hope is that they continue to work with us and partner with us in their important work, especially as they're still, you know, doing this great work with the URA. So thank you, Commissioner Walker, for, again, not only your time, but for graciously stepping aside and allowing that spot for someone else to be a little bit more engaged, as I know that you had hoped to be. We appreciate your service, both you and Commissioner Corbel, and thank you. With that, so what I'm going to say is this to serve on this commission, it is an honor that I know that none of us take lightly. And as we have experienced, as we have shared over the years, it does take a level of commitment and work. And so it is really important that we think about Commissioners Corbel and Walker and capacity and what we are able to do and give to this commission. It's important that we think about equity as we go into a new year, in terms of how we support each other and share in the work, so that we, you know, are able to share it equitably and across the board. And so just as we go into a new year and we reflect, it's just something that I know I'm preaching to the choir. I just feel it's important to just remember and reflect how important it is for us all to be honest about what our capacity is. This commission is very special. This is not to say anything about any of the other commissioners. I'm not even thinking about them. Not that they're very important. And right now I'm talking about us. We are very hard workers. We are all very busy. We all have extremely important roles in the community. We all have families. We all have friends and loved ones that we take care of, and we show up. And so it's really important, again, that we're honest about our capacity and what we're able to do. And I just want to emphasize again how grateful I am to everyone who has shown up, who has put the work in, who has been present, and has helped us to get to where we are today. Because it took a lot of sleeve rolling and pushing up and digging in up to our necks and eyeballs to get through not just this year, but frankly, the last 4 years. And we cannot do it and could not have done it without that hard work. So I just wanted to say that, you know, we just need to be honest and think about what we're able to do and the ways that people have participated and showed up. Thank you. So that is all I will say about that. Any questions about that? It was pretty straightforward, but I'm also open to any remarks or anything that anyone else would like to say about that. Okay. All right. What I'm going to do is quickly, I'm going to skip C and go straight to number 5. So Commissioner Overton had graciously reached out to a colleague, friend, to have someone come and present. Unfortunately, they weren't able to join us today. But I will turn it over to Commissioner Overton just to kind of give us a brief update on who they were, what they were going to talk about, and some of the information and that we can share. And just so you know, we would like to hopefully have this person in the future. But Commissioner Overton, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. This is a really good friend of mine who has a newborn. So So, being that we are the Gender Equity Commission, we recognize that parental duty comes first. So she's very excited to join us in the future and provide any resources that she can. But she is a musicologist at Carnegie Mellon, and she's originally from Saskatchewan, Canada. And her work focuses on the intersections of Indigenous culture, history, and music as a platform to really deconstruct and construct what it means to be Indigenous. So she's really cool, has really cool work. And I know last time we talked about the topic of land acknowledgements and whether they are truly a just practice or if they are checking the box. Given that I'm both Black and Native American and serve on this commission, I contributed my point of view, but of course we welcome, perspectives of people who have this lived experience and expertise. So she was very kind and and sent us a whole bunch of very thoughtful resources, including PDFs, prompts of hers that she sent to Carnegie Mellon, who themselves were thinking about doing land acknowledgements. And I just encourage us I will compile those resources for us all. But I just encourage us to continue to be continuous scholars and educate ourselves in this work because, on the surface, land acknowledgements seem like they're good, right? We're acknowledging Native people, but at the end of the day, are we perpetuating colonialism? Are we perpetuating just pacifying communities? And, this seems like the only time that we acknowledge Indigenous people is during Thanksgiving and Columbus Day, right? But what happens on, April 23rd or just like a random date of the year? This needs to be, an all year 24/7, 365 way that we challenge our intentional. So very quickly, I'll read an excerpt of one of the resources that she sent, and I think this captures everything that we're collectively thinking right now. And it says, before committing to the work of a land acknowledge, I ask that we wrestle with the critiques and limitations of land acknowledgements to reflect on our own motivations for creating one and to recognize the potentials for harm and to reject the performative nature of most land acknowledgements. So again, accountability it has to happen internally before we claim to serve and uplift the communities that we claim to as a commission. So as stated, she's excited to join us in the future. This is, of course, a continuous, not only conversation, but action, right? So I'm really happy to see and serve in a commission that recognizes Indigenous people and the fact that we're still here. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you so much. Again, I know this was kind of like a last minute addition. I don't typically do this, but I use my prerogative as chair just to kind of slide that in there. I thought it would be a great educational moment for us, and we appreciate your friend for agreeing to join us, and of course, completely support and understand why they're not here, and look forward to them presenting in the future. And, again, to reiterate what you've stated, I'm very proud of a commission that strives to truly walk the walk and be truly intersectional. We had a wonderful conversation, as you stated, around land acknowledgement. And as you said, Commissioner Overton, this point was brought up by a few of us, right? So thank you for sharing that. And we look forward to meeting this incredible person to present to the commission publicly in the future. Does anyone have any questions for Commissioner Overton or any comments about what was just discussed or shared?
I really appreciate that you're bringing this information to our group.
We have to. I mean, all of the names around us in Pittsburgh, Allegheny, right? These are Indigenous words, and we need to recognize where they come from and whether we're exploiting those names or we're really trying to uplift and protect them, So we have to.
Thank you. And again, thank you everyone for being a part of this important conversation and continuing, I feel, to lead. One of the reasons why I so appreciate this group. Okay. So what I would like to do now is go back to 2021 reflections. I wanted to give us all just an opportunity to briefly share. You know, it's been a year. And I wanted to give you all a chance to speak and to share, you know, briefly your reflections on the year, how this has been. It's December. The next time we meet is gonna be a new year. So I would love to hear from all of you and give you all a chance to speak and share your reflections for the year. So I will turn it over. Would it be easier for me to call on you, or is there anybody who feels so moved to step up? Oh, Commissioner, go for it.
This is a lesson that started last year with the pandemic, and I said it to all of my HR colleagues in the greater Pittsburgh area and throughout. And if I failed to mention it to my fellow commissioners, I'm saying it to you now because it's still relevant. And that is, put your oxygen mask on first. And that means self-care, self-love, do for you, and then you'll be able to do for others. And that is a lesson that I've learned since March of 2020. And I am continuing to make sure that that is done. I make sure that the staff of HR for the city of Pittsburgh does it. For my HR colleagues, is, you know, this just continues. And so for the work that we do can be tiring and exhausting, and it seems like we're preaching to the choir. And that just as we take one step, one step forward, it's like two steps back. But we're going to keep our own oxygen mask on first. And 2022 should be very interesting as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll go because mine is very much in line with Janet's. And I think this year, when I think about it and what I've come out with is just to learn to breathe. Just breathe. I have been very aware how anxious we are as a community, as a society, and we have a right to be. We certainly have a right to be. This year, we've been through a lot. We've had lots of losses, you know, in our communities and our families, and we don't breathe. We're always swinging from the chandelier. And so my practice this year has really just been about breathing and also saying that to others, not just mine, but allowing people just to breathe and just to be who they are and just really just accept life on life's terms, because that's what COVID taught us. We really don't have any control. And we really must just breathe. It's not an acceptance, it's really a letting go of all the control that we try to have. And that's certainly what COVID taught me, that I don't have any control. My work is to breathe and to walk and to keep walking.
Please, Commissioner Ramey. Thank you, Commissioner Higginbotham.
Yeah, thank you for both of those. I'm leaving this year feeling very hopeful, looking towards next year, despite how difficult the year has been. And this group knows, because we just did some work in our working session, thinking about how our work aligns with the priorities of the incoming administration. And I'm just very, very hopeful about that. And I'm also reminded, having done that deep dive into our work over the last couple of years to put that document together over the last couple of weeks, I'm reminded of how important this commission is and how crucial our work is. And the fact that you simply can't do any equity work in the city of Pittsburgh without using that intersectional gender lens. And so I just wanted to kind of say that out loud on public record, because I'm so very, very certain that our approach to this work is the way forward, and it will move the needle if we use an intersectional gender lens. And I'm so very proud of the collective work that this group has done. And just simply putting together that 15-page document really demonstrated how important our collective action is. So I'm kind of moving out of this year with some hope.
That's lovely. Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful reflection. Whew. It's been 4 years, Jesse. Who's next?
I'll jump in. I would say, first of all, thank you to the founding commissioners who have stood with us during this year and have provided lots of guidance and support as we've all tried to regain our footing and respond to the happenings of the world, and specifically also this commission. And then I would just encourage all of us to get some rest over the break. Hopefully everyone gets a break. Relax and not feel guilty about sitting and doing what pleases you the most. As Commissioner Overton reminded us, First Vice Chair Overton reminded us at the beginning of this year, is that, you know, rest is revolutionary, and we are all part of the revolution, and we must be rested in order to continue the fight. So I am wishing rest and peace to all of us, and I'm looking forward to coming back in 2022 stronger than ever, and ready to just work on behalf of the people of the city of Pittsburgh, Allegheny County, and the state of Pennsylvania.
Yes, Commissioner Schultz.
All right, I'll jump in briefly. I don't know if I'm adding anything new or just kind of reiterating what's already been said, but you know, something I've learned from my students this year is that literally everyone is struggling. I mean, some people just hide it better. And so giving not only other people grace, but giving ourselves grace, I think is really important. I'm really grateful, you know, to have been part of the commission since the beginning, and to have seen all of the ebbs and flows. And you know, this year was exceptionally hard because we had so much just, you know, it's just so disjointed to try to do this kind of work, especially doing it like through Zoom, right? So I think given what we've been given, like, we have all done a great job. We're doing great. We're here, and we're going into 2020 stronger than ever. So I am looking forward to working with you all in the new year, and also looking forward to sleeping for like 3 weeks, even though that's like a dream. It's not going to happen, but I'm going to think that maybe at some point I will get a nap. So, and I hope you all take one too.
Thank you. I see you unmuting, Commissioner. You might as well go for it.
I'll just quickly say that I'm very tired today, and I'm not in the best headspace for this assignment.
Oh,
That being said, I'm so grateful to all the other commissioners for pouring some love and energy my way right now. So that's the centering of humanity has been part of a lot of our discussions this year, and I'm grateful for that and welcome it continuing.
perfect and well said. You understood the assignment, Commissioner.
I'll go. I'm trying to think of what I could say that's not repeating what everybody already said so beautifully and
It doesn't
soulfully.
matter. It's your words.
But I guess I would say I feel less alone being in the trenches when I know that you all are here alongside me. I mean, this work can be very isolating. Sometimes you feel like you're on another planet when you want to address systemic issues. And as a Black woman from Pittsburgh, there have been times when, you question whether this is a space for you to thrive. And I will say, and I was reflecting on this earlier, not to get too political, but when I heard Mayor-elect Gainey's farewell address in the State House this morning, I feel very excited for the future of Pittsburgh, because I know we'll all collectively be part of that future. And not just to say that, but the fact that, we're creating and crafting this as we go along and are being intentional about it. This is like a surprise for me to actually be amped up about Pittsburgh. But I believe in this city. I believe in its promise. I believe we can really set a precedent. And to do that work alongside you all, it gives me hope. So to not sound all mushy, but it's true. This is not just professional work. This is very personal to me. So thank you all for having enough energy at least to show up to do this, because it takes a lot.
I'll go. I have so much gratitude for this group and what we do. And I agree with everything everyone has said. I think it's personal for all of us in different ways. Different pieces is personal for us in different ways. I think what Commissioner Ramey said about being intersectional, being necessary to do this work effectively really resonated with me. I also, in my past work, some past jobs, I've worked a little bit on CEDA implementation outside of the US. And so to be working on it in the US for me has a meaning that I cherish. And it makes me feel like I hope I do right by this work and this commission. And I hope that we can continue our work forward. And I'm really excited about our gender analysis committee work for next year as well. I'm grateful for the folks on that committee and the work that we have been preparing and planning. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I don't want to push or nudge anyone, even if it's one word.
I can't repeat what everybody else has already said either. But I am really grateful for all of you. This is my first year, and this is the first commission that I've ever been on. I am learning a lot, and I obviously still have a lot to learn. So I'm really glad that I have all your support. I'm actually, we're doing our own gender analysis here in Public Works as a result of what, we've done here in the commission. So there is a lot for me to learn, and obviously, a lot for us to do. But, we're taking the steps to get there. So thank you for your support.
Perfectly said. Thank you. Thank you. Again, acknowledging that speaking recorded live on YouTube isn't fun for everyone. I want to thank you all for showing up. I want to thank you all for your leadership and your humanity and your honesty and vulnerability in this time. It's not only important, as so many of you have noted, for the support of each other in this work, to remind each other that we are in this and where it comes from. It's also important for the public to understand why we do what we do and who we are. And so for them to remember that you're human beings and there's a reason why you do what you do and you show up, you show up. This year was not what I expected. At all. I think it was Commissioner Higginbotham that talked about plans. I had plans. We had plans. We had a whole calendar of plans, right? And if I'm being honest, you know, and I'm sure that Commissioner Ramey can attest to this. Being chair it's an honor, and it comes with a lot of weight and responsibility. And I'm not going to say that I wouldn't have still accepted the call last January if I knew what this year was going to be like. But what I will say is this, I have learned so much, and I'm so grateful to each and every single one of you for your commitment, your hard work, your dedication. My one goal for this year was to do my best to support your leadership. That is what being chair meant to me. I hope I did that. I do. I truly do. And I can't thank you all enough for your continued encouragement and for allowing me to be me and to learn and to make mistakes and to get back up and keep going. And I can't thank you enough for allowing me the honor of representing you all this year. It has meant everything. On top of all that all of us have going on, you know, and, you know, that's all I have to say is thank you. We made it, everyone. We did it. And we didn't just do it, we did it big. We've been doing it big since we started, and we haven't stopped. COVID didn't stop us. Staffing didn't stop us. People still not understanding the importance of gender equity hasn't stopped us. Oh, even though we have high standards and high hopes, and maybe we don't always reach the levels that we want to, what I want to acknowledge and to remind you all, and again, that document that was shared, right, during the working meeting, reflective of all of our hard work over the years, we've been doing a lot of work and we have accomplished so much. And the influence and leadership that we have had in this region is undeniable, period. So everyone should be very proud of themselves. And that is how I feel about 2021. Like, I honestly didn't think I was going to feel that way. I was just tired, y'all. I just went to go to sleep. But I'm grateful. If I have one word to share about 2021, it's grateful. And I'm grateful to all of you for helping to make this region better for me. And I just want to say that to you. So thank you. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. All right. With that being said, I also do want to share with the public that, you know, I'm truly sorry for the disruption that all of this has caused as far as the hopes that we had for engagement this year. And also too, we know that you all have not been able to participate live. And, you know, just to be very transparent, you know, I own it completely that not having staff made it very difficult for us to stay on top of being able to get newsletters out and to post links on the website every single month. In 2022, that is something that we will work with the administration to resume. You can still email us at genderequity@pittsburghpa.gov. That is active. People are responding to that. So even though you cannot participate in real time, we do still and always will be grateful for, ask for, and acknowledge your feedback, because we also know that we do this work on behalf of you And the community are the ones who made our commission possible. So I want to make that very clear. So for anyone who has been frustrated over the last few months, I sincerely apologize for that. And please just know that it's not because we didn't care. It was a capacity issue, just being very honest. And we're looking forward to working with the administration to restore some of that capacity that has been lost, so that, you know, not only can we continue this important work we've been doing, but again, really get it to where we wanted it to be, including the public engagement and exploring how to do that effectively, and inviting all of you back to the meetings to be able to participate publicly and live. So I just wanted to make sure that I said that and acknowledge that. As far as the end of year reporting, just so everyone knows that we've discussed in the working group that we are going to work to get final drafts of the 2 reports that we committed to completing, both the end of year report and the recommendations for the mayor-elect, who will be mayor the next time we meet. So at the January meeting, we will have drafts, and we will give commissioners another opportunity for any finite details. We'll be electing the executive committee for 2022. And then we'll make sure the public is aware of when we do submit the end of year report, which will go directly onto the website, as well as recommendations for the new mayor's administration. We don't have any policy recommendations, or not recommendations, any policy updates to share at this moment. Before we adjourn, does anyone have any final comments?
Just wish everyone a happy holiday season.
Thank you, Janet. Whoa, all right. Who wants to make a motion to end the final meeting of 2021?
Motion to end the meeting.
I second it.
I think it's fair to say this is fairly unanimous, correct? Okay. Everyone, please take a nap. Commissioner Schultz, take several. Everyone take several. Thank you.
And breathe.
And breathe. Yes, thank you. And breathe and put your oxygen mask on.
Right, breathe.
And celebrate the work.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then I want to do this. I did this earlier today, but I want to do this. Everybody rub your hands together like this. If you're able to. If you're not, just create whatever friction you can with your body or eyelids or whatever. We're going to send each other a virtual hug. And what we're going to do is, by creating this friction, we're warming up our hands. And I want you all to open up your palms to the screen. And I am sending you all so much love and energy and support. This is my virtual hug to you. I learned this. I did not invent this. So no credit to me. But this is my way of connecting with you virtually, because if I could hug all of you, I would. And thank you for everything. And look forward to seeing all of you in 2022. Thank you to the Pittsburgh City Television crew for everything you've done for us this year. We love you and couldn't do without you, and appreciate you. And we're going to end on time so you all can go home.
Take care,
everyone. Take care. And thank you, everybody in the public, for being with us. Everyone take care.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.